Guys, welcome back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. Please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. So today, another down the rabbit hole mindset video of mine regarding how I look at things and how I'm viewing the drip ecosystem and stuff like that. And the idea came to me that this is similar to a franchise. So when I started thinking about it as a franchise, it started giving me some other ideas of how they overlap and what we can learn from that industry and how you can think of yourself in the ecosystem and what your role is regarding the org structure of a franchise. But before we get into that, got to actually explain for those who may not be familiar, I'm sure you all are, but what a franchise is. So the most common franchises you see are in the food industry. And I grew up and I worked at McDonald's at a young age, and then I worked at other franchises like Pizza Hut, Chick-fil-A, a movie theater franchise, all over the place. But these are some of the top franchises. So basically what they are, not just in the restaurant business, but you essentially are buying licensing and the ability to use the branding of a company. So they've got their template essentially, and they allow you to use that. So it's a structure that allows third-party entrepreneur, also known as a franchisee, to legally operate a business using the trade name, standards, and processes of the business owner. So somebody does all the hard work and make sure that the business that they created is profitable, and then you say, all right, I'd like a piece of that, and you literally copy paste what they did, and if you do, you theoretically will be successful. That's the point of a franchise. They've already built the name up, and you just have to follow the protocol. So to put it simply, an entrepreneur can use the name, branding, products, services, and procedures of an established business. This is licensing, so the franchisee can legally use the trade name, process, procedures, products of a turnkey business model. So this got me to thinking about drip. Essentially, this is exactly what drip allows us to do. You are buying, you can say buying licensing, because when you put your money into the faucet, remember you're sacrificing, so you do pay a fee. That fee is in the cost of the 10% tax. You don't ever get that back, right? Over time, you will make money from it, depending on the price of the token and things of that nature. But you are getting to use the licensing, so to speak, of drip, the hard work that the other people come before you have put in regards to having it trending on Dex tools or being pumped out by the YouTube algorithm. So all of that is in your favor. That's been put in before you even got into drip. So you're literally just putting your capital in, and then you get to decide, do you want to build a team? And if you want to build a team, you can literally follow the training and support of other YouTubers that have put out content and see what works and what they've done. And you can choose to, copy what they do or take your own approach. Go about it a different way. There's even people who write blog articles, all sorts of stuff. But literally that would be the definition of training and support, because the information's out there, the DYOR, but if you watch all these videos and even get into the chats and ask people, you can definitely have a successful piece of the business, because you're building your own team, people that will support you and your downlines and get into your Telegram chat or your Discord and onboard other people and even build their own downline teams. So this is exactly like a franchise, in my opinion. So I like to use that analogy because that helps me understand of how I should be thinking about this investment that I'm doing within Drip. So that led me to start looking at, the org chart of a traditional business or franchise, right? So technically, you are all of these. You could say the president or CEO is the code, the drip code that's out there immutable on the blockchain. So it can't be changed. Technically, Forex does some of the marketing, adding layers on top of it. But even if he didn't do that, the drip code would be the president or CEO. It is what it is, and nobody can control it, manipulate it, remove it, take it down, anything like that. As long as the internet is here and Binance Smart Chain exists, drip will be there. If we had a nuclear holocaust and then everything went offline and then Binance came back online 5 years later, drip would still be there. So that's kind of how I think about it as the president and CEO. Then all of these roles are kind of up to you where you are in your drip journey. If you're building a team, for sure, you got to wear these hats. You're the vice president of marketing, however you want to market, be it your Twitter, your TikTok, YouTube channel, operations and franchising, how you're going to go about this every day, what your work is going to be like, and are you going to try and build your own team and start onboarding other people? How are you going to support them? Your airdrops, all that stuff. All this is part of operations. Like, what does it cost you to do this? Shout out to Driptopian Lee, right? He's built this amazing studio, like an entire room somewhere else. This all goes under his operations and franchising. Somebody else could copy that model if he decided to show them the equipment he purchased and how he's been doing his streams and stuff. Intellectual property and commercialization. This is kind of already existent in the Drip ecosystem. Each person can create their own unique way of marketing Drip. Like Crypto Kings, for example, is a perfect example of this. He's doing his own team. Making Maxis, I believe, is actually the behind creating this merchandise, but you can definitely create your own stuff and get it out there. And of course, your chief financial officer. So you got to see where you're spending things at. And then down here, you are also the franchise owner and the manager. So you wear all these hats. And if you start looking at it from this business perspective, even if you don't have any business experience, start doing your research. It may help you look at your investment a little more than just a DeFi, degen, YOLO gamble play. You can start looking at it more seriously and decide how you want to move forward with that. So this leads me to kind of where you're at once you're inside McDonald's, for lack of a better word. So this is kind of what I'm focusing on right now in regards to taking profits. So that's where I'm going to tie this video in. So it's like you have all of these positions filled, and you are also the crew person doing the day-to-day work and the management. And when I looked at it from this perspective, I was like, oh yeah, I was a crew person. And I remember clocking in and out at McDonald's at my first job. And back then, I think minimum wage was $5 or $5.15, and that was super exciting. I was like, and then I made this previous video, I already told you guys, about taking profits responsibly and looking at a 40-hour work week. So that led me to think back to clocking in and clocking out at McDonald's. And I was like, wait a minute, let me see what that looks like. So remember, you can come over to drip.formulate.finance, especially if you paid for the next tier, and you can see how much your drip is worth per hour, right? So right now, that's $5.78 per hour for my drip at these prices. So what I could do is I could literally come in and start my shift at my job here at my desk, right? And I could, first thing in the morning, let's say I start my work. I usually start work I get up at 4 a.m., but let's say I'm the traditional Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 person. So what I could do, I could come in at 9 a.m. and compound on the drip faucet, right? So when I compound, that means everything from the night before gets added back into the faucet. Let me pull that up just for visual. I know you guys are well aware of how the faucet works, but I just want to show for visibility purposes. So I would come in at 9 a.m. and I would hydrate and compound, right? So my shift starts at 9 a.m. Then for my 8 hours sitting at my desk, even if I'm not at my desk and if I'm doing something else or I'm going somewhere else or whatever, it's still the same idea. So from 5 p.m. So from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is my 8-hour shift. So all I'm doing is hydrating, which is clocking in, and then I wait until 5 p.m. and I claim, which is clocking out. That gives me my 8 hours for the day. Why? Because that literally would be my 8-hour shift of my profits. Now I claim that and leave it in my wallet, and then I do that again on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then on Friday I can sell it or do whatever I want depending on if I need the money or not, right? So simply put, here, we'll just round this up to 6 because it's easier to do the math. That would be $240 a week. We'll just say $250 because that's easier if I go to a month. So it's $1,000 a month on my drip faucet. And that is extremely responsible profits because there's 168 hours in a work week. So you're between a 6-and-1 and a 5-and-2 strategy. So, and it makes it very easy for you to track because all you're doing is clocking in and out. And then now you're actually holding yourself accountable because you don't get profits if you don't clock in or clock out. So all you got to do is hydrate and claim, and then on the weekend you just let it accumulate, and then you come back in on Monday morning and you hydrate at your start of your shift. And also, depending on where your bag is at, you can say, all right, I'm doing it part-time. I'm going to do 12 to 4 p.m. I'm going to do a 1 to 5 or whatever. Like pick where you're at in your org chart and what your drip balance looks like. especially once we start reversing and decide on how you want to take profits responsibly. This goes in the other video I talked about how everybody can support the ecosystem. But I just thought this was a really cool analogy of being able to look at your investment in the drip ecosystem. This is just talking about drip, but you know, we have all the other areas within drip, but just in drip alone, this is indeed a franchise. So as this continues to grow and onboard new people, you need to adopt the hat of a business owner and understand all of the pieces it takes to make this profitable. You got to move from the degen space to a business owner mindset and educate yourself on all these other things that are required to make this successful. It's not just a set it and forget it. Like the amount of work I've had to put in these videos, it's no means passive. You can definitely have that avenue, don't get me wrong. But if you're looking to really blow up and grow your bag size, you're gonna have to get more professional, for lack of a better word, with it, unless you just got some serious capital sitting on the side and you can just throw it in because you won the lottery somewhere else or some shit like that. But if you're grinding to get this is a great way to think of it. So clock in for your shift, take your profits responsibly, and you'll see your hourly wage go up like you're getting a raise over time. So just thought that was a cool way to look at it. Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, guys, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.